Welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Final Mix playthrough.
Currently leaving Neverland after defeat. No other villains left, I think, right? Except for Hades, but...
Hades and Maleficent are still kicking around, and Riku, of course.
Of course. Where could they be? Maleficent World? Sleeping Beauty World?
I believe that's Enchanted Dominion?
Yes. Is that what they call it in the movie, or do you know?
No, I'm pretty sure they just call it the Kingdom.
Kind of like every Prince Charming.
Exactly.
But once again, return to Traverse Town. It is your hub world after all.
And the return of Bagel Bite commentaries.
Well, it's the best name for commentaries.
Yep. I believe it was the...
Escape?
Well, yeah, but the medieval...
Sushi Temple?
Yeah, and Sushi Temple.
Sushi Temple. Hilarious.
Hilarious. Yeah, we're back in Traverse Town, and we're gonna talk to Sid about a couple new gummies that we found. And they sure aren't the Kings.
I don't understand how they knew that.
Well, it's probably because it was so vastly different.
But Mickey isn't using a gummy ship.
How do you know? Well,
because we never see him drive one.
That's true, actually. They imply that he knows how to pilot one, but not once does he.
I think he discovered them. As one of the reports, I think, might mention.
Yeah, possibly.
But there we go, Sid. You know, the other thing stupid about these is that, once again, his voicelessness is making this seem unimportant, even though it's like the most important thing to happen.
Yeah.
Why does he say it like that? Like, Sora! No! This kind of always threw me off as to why he's so sad, but I guess you kind of forget what just happened.
Yeah, like back in Neverland when he's trying to I still thought he was acting all happy when he's talking about oh, I can't wait to show Kairi all of this. But
yeah, I think he's I don't know. I think you could call it acting or just him just being optimistic.
Yeah,
because he did see her move. I think he's kind of trying to tell himself that she'll be okay. There's an argument I hear people make for Sora's character. That he has the front of just being happy.
Well, yeah.
I personally don't 100% agree with that. I think it's just the way they write his character, but it could be true. I don't know. You have to ask him yourself.
Well, as we pointed out in Destiny Island, he is kind of not really your typical shonen character, but very similar in the fact that he's very, what's the word? Undeterrable, I would say.
Yeah. He's got the classic little goofy but strong sense of justice.
Oh yeah, and speaking of cutscenes that threw me off, this was
I'm sorry.
Who the hell are you?
And what's up with the camera? It's just moving. It's just moving, kind of. Is it supposed...
Failed ambience?
Yeah. But this is, I don't know, would you say this is important? I guess you could say this is important.
It is kind of, but the biggest the biggest implied thing, and I say implied as in they don't blatantly say it, but this is implying that this is basically Kairi's home, I would imagine, and this is her grandmother speaking, and we're going to be visiting this room in the next world, and therefore that's where Kairi came from.
Yes. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess it's here sort of for this fairy tale exposition, but also to kind of give you insight.
Is it fairy tale or is it non-fiction? We'll never know.
We'll never know. But pay attention if you've been reading the words. Pay attention. This is important, somewhat.
Holy shit! The only redhead I know, and that's Kairi.
What? Is that she saying that? Oh yeah, you're right. He doesn't even see the front of her face. Oh, but the grandma called her Kairi, though.
Yeah. And see, that kind of threw me off because there are no voices in this cutscene.
So you thought that was the girl? Or the grandma?
Yeah, I thought that was and she just disappeared. So I thought that was Kairi! They got attacked or something. And she's died, yeah.
That's funny.
It was kind of an unintentionally dark scene, but I think that was just a matter of my misinterpretation of it.
Yeah,
And what's with the Pac-Man up there?
it's the sun.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
I think so. Pac-Man's son.
No, she texted you, Sora.
She
That was a
found
heart
it.
text.
That was pretty much a hard text. You're right. But
Still,
yeah,
just another one of those clues as to like why a dead Kyrie moved back in Neverland, and
the true answer will be revealed soon.
very, very soon.
What did this give you? Transform G?
Yeah, that's I still couldn't tell you how that thing works. It's supposed to, from what I got out of it, it's like it's two blueprints in one, where you can hit the transform button, and it has like a couple of other pre-installed pieces or something like that. Again, I never really used it.
I think you have to like attach it to one gummy ship, and then you can link it with a gummy ship with that same attachment.
Mm-hmm.
But like I didn't even find a use for it during any of the missions.
Nope.
And see, the reason why I at least like to make fun of this is because even we're getting to about like the harder routes, and they just aren't hard.
They're
Sure,
really not.
There's
no.
a good chance you might hit one clump of something and die if you never upgrade your ship, but that's it. Aside from that, you can still get through it. Basic ship.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Mm-hmm.
The setup you have right now just makes it a lot easier
Yeah.
and way faster, but it's just Kingdom Hearts 2 handled this way better.
I think it did. I think that's probably best save for Kingdom Hearts 2 playthrough. Oh, by the way, countdown
13
is
days.
13 days, very appropriate number, until 2.5 is released at the time of this recording, in the US anyway.
I know. And how excited are you?
I'm pretty hyped.
Me too.
I pre-ordered it like a long ass time ago.
And all for a pin.
Well, and then they announced the collector's edition, which like, oh crap, I'll just cancel this order and get the other. And then I realized, why is it so expensive? Is it just for all the extra stuff? But no, it includes 1.5 as well. So I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
Never
don't
mind.
be fooled by the big collector edition if you happen to see it and want to get it. If you want the extra content, go and get it, but... Alright, something I want to bring up, did you think that this weird this weird wall added any atmosphere to this battle? Because I feel like that's what it was supposed to do. Or not battle, but trip, I guess.
Well, calling it a wall, well...
Because that kind of struck me like we're at the gates of some sort of castle. That's the way I always sort of took it.
Yeah, like... Basically, the Wall of China gummy version. It's keeping us out, which is kind of dumb because I'm seeing plenty of openings inside there. But no, apparently, like... And that's what I always took from it. Like, the navigation gummy shows us this weak point, which why would they have that?
Weak point?
Yeah, when we just busted through the wall there.
Oh, yeah. Why would they have a weak point? Well, because I don't know.
There's always a weak point. It's a video game. They have to have a weak point.
Maybe Mickey already did it. Who knows what he was doing throughout this entire thing?
Who's farting around waiting for us to get there?
How shameful. You'd expect him to be that lazy.
Oh, man. What do you think of the Rising Falls? I thought this was a really neat little area.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I always liked it. Especially how you can... I just love this world, honestly.
It's very, very cool. And this is the other... What would it be? The second original? Well, technically third, counting Destiny Islands as far as original worlds.
Yes. This would be the third original world, yeah. And the only one, sort of. The last one, I guess, technically. To some degree. If you want to consider it a real world.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and I have to say, this is a very good end game area.
Well, you say end game.
But close to the end game.
Yeah. It's a very big world for what it is, and... Well, I won't say too much, but needless to say, we'll be making a couple stops here.
I kind of get Ape Escape flashbacks from this world, because it is kind of long.
Mm-hmm.
The last level is always the longest.
And once again, worlds are colliding. This is supposed to be Maleficent's home base, and then they have Beast from Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, and I can see this confusing many young children thinking this is supposed to be the castle from, or the town from Beauty and the Beast. But as you can tell, is what they're talking about right now
That world blew up.
Yeah, and he traveled here on his own. So this isn't their world, and this is supposed to be a testament to Beast's strength that never really comes back into play.
Yeah.
But he's like the only cool enough character to do that. Most people get warped back to Traverse Town or something.
Yeah, having him here almost makes him kind of a main, but honestly, the only other reason I can think of Beast being in this world at all is something coming up later in this cutscene.
Yeah. Oh, give me stupid 358 movie type battle.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe they were planning a Riku version, and you actually battled him.
Even as a little kid, I hear that sound effect and I expect blood.
When he goes whoosh.
Yeah. Like the beast should be bleeding.
But no, he's just hurt. I like Riku.
If only you knew.
I know people say that's a translation error. It's not a translation error.
Yeah.
It was just bad, or not the proper planning for the main story.
And I did not have the right Keyblade for this cutscene. That just looked really out of place.
So how do you feel how like it does transform into the Kingdom Key when it comes back? When Riku holds on to it. I thought it was cool.
I thought that was interesting, but also kind of a needless transformation. Like,
Well, cause
surely he would keep the keychain attached to it.
but he doesn't have the keychain. Riku does, or Sora does.
Yeah, but he just took the Keyblade. So that therefore, whatever's attached to it, they should just kept it. Like to me, that just feels like they changed it ever so slightly so Sora would have or Riku would have the default, and it just seems like a needless change, but not like.
Yeah, it'd be cool if he had like his own keychain. I hate this part. I understand why they're doing it. It didn't.
Yeah, but well, we do now, but
I just think it created unneeded conflict.
this was and it was kind of.
Well, because I understand exactly what they're saying. They're saying Mickey told them that the boy with the key is the one who can actually fix stuff.
Yeah.
But
still, look at what's happened. Look, did you not see what Riku did? You were there when you fought the Shadow Sora. Riku made that shit.
Yeah, but they're animals. They have smaller brains than humans.
And they're Disney animals.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
But this is kind of nice. Sora's still a nice guy.
He kind of shook it off after a couple minutes.
And good thing Beast was there, or else he would have. Oh, so did you do any experimenting with trying? I don't know. I'll bring it up later, but it's about to happen for a second. I hate it when people use the names of people, even though you don't know who they are. Sora doesn't know who Belle is.
Yeah, that's a good point. Although, at this point, Beast is kind of talking to himself, like trying to hype himself up too, I would say.
But he also doesn't really care that Sora's there. He doesn't want to be friends with him as much as Sora does.
Well, yeah, it's just kind of that mindset that, people won't help him because he's the Beast. Kind of calling back to the movie.
But no, Sora doesn't care.
Nah, Sora, I would say that's a slight bit of, maybe not character development, but a side of Sora we haven't seen up until this point. Like, his determination, it's like, you saw him kind of depressed in the previous cutscene, where he's kind of, not really whining, I wouldn't say whining, but where he's questioning why Donald and Goofy are so cheerful. They're hopeful, they're optimistic that they'll find the king eventually. And looking back when they said, and we found you, because that's what the king told us to do, and then they just up and leave.
Well,
so it's kind of an unimplied foreshadowing to what happened here.
Because he didn't have the. Oh, you're right. They didn't. They just said we found you. That's it. Just because he had the key. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only reason.
It makes me question what they think of Sora at this point.
I don't know. They always end up dying in battles while he's the one who finishes them.
That's a very good
point. I don't know. A little contrived, I think, what happened here.
Ever so slightly contrived, I agree.
I get the point, though. Like, I get the... So,
this is
do you know what I was going to talk about right here?
You
do no damage.
Yeah. They changed... In the original version that I played, anyway, that was released in the US, you did, like, 1 HP of damage. Here you don't do anything. You just hit them.
But it's interesting because you actually hit them as opposed to when you fight them with the sword on Destiny Islands.
Yeah.
When it phases through them.
It's like they took away any damage you dealt, but you still... Their hitboxes are still making contact with your sword. Or,
yeah, like...
You know.
And I think that's supposed to represent his growth. Like, even without the Keyblade, he's still strong enough to at least fight them to some degree. But he's not. He can't do any damage.
I would say that's part true. Honestly, I would mark it up to inconsistency. Like, before they didn't even have hitboxes.
His sword he was too weak.
Well, yeah, and he had a wooden sword. But again, as we saw back there, Beast tore them apart with his bare claws, and it was amazing.
I know. I love how they actually do that.
This block is pointless. I'm using it because I'm using it to show you what it's used for. This is what it is. But you don't need it because you have glide now.
Yeah, and you could argue that these are here if you never got high jump, which is possible. You can get to here without actually obtaining high jump. But that's not what this puzzle entails. The puzzle is for all width jumps.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
This was bad puzzle placement.
You were actually telling me you can bypass Monstro.
You can. I wouldn't recommend it, as high jump is a very useful ability, but
that's still strange to me because I didn't do that. I didn't bypass Monstro because I thought you had to do it, and I still beat you in the race.
I know. How did that? I can't believe it.
And then Chernobog screwed me over, and then I had to do it all over again. But I was kind of trying to kill two birds with one stone. But that's another story for... Well, I probably shouldn't even bring it up in this playthrough. It's kind of personal, off-topic kind of thing. But that was kind of a waste of time for... You know, just another little piece of treasure, but...
Well, there was the wall you didn't destroy.
Yeah.
There's one of the beast walls.
Yeah, this is the actual bubble. What do you think of these magic bubbles?
They don't make any sense. I actually don't like them. I think they're weird. There's no rhyme or reason as to why they're here.
They're just magic, and that's it.
Yeah. I've always liked these areas.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very apt. I used this word recently, but I'm gonna say it again. Because it doesn't. Because you are pretty much like in the sewage to some degree. You're in the waterworks.
Mm-hmm.
You're nowhere near civilization. I mean, not like the entire castle has a civilization in it to begin with, but...
That's true. Like, where is the town?
I don't know. They don't... I think that's the point of why the castle's kind of in the sky.
Mm-hmm.
Is because the town's below, but I don't know. Yeah, and like, what is this the waterworks for the castle specifically, or is it for the entire town? Oh, these are stupid questions to ask. Never the answer. So what do you think of this puzzle?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, but...
Siri not available. Connect to the internet.
Oops. No.
Siri, get out of this commentary! We did not invite
Shut
you.
Wouldn't it be awesome, a Siri commentary?
Siri commentary.
That'd be hilarious. But yeah, this puzzle. It's pretty much just press the next button that comes available to you.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been able to get to that button over there?
Yes.
How?
No, I don't know, actually.
How do you do that? I've never been able to do it, and I don't even know what it's supposed to open.
I don't know, actually, because I'm trying to think. I remember there is a different way to get to this area, to get like the treasure chest that you see but can't find. But nothing. But I don't remember pressing a button. I don't know. Oh, I think I was reading message boards online. I think that is a button you can never actually reach.
Like, it's there, but they didn't program it correctly?
Or it's like they were gonna add the area, but they didn't.
It's not even Sonic Blades doing anything. Magic does do damage, though, as you see here. So you're not completely powerless.
Which is interesting that Sora still knows magic. That pretty much opens up that anyone can learn magic in this universe.
Well,
not just people with a magical weapon.
Well, you say that, but yeah, magic... That's the whole point. You don't need a weapon to use... Like, the way Sora's programmed, he's not gonna ever shoot fire, or in this case, Fyra, out of his hand. Even though that would be pretty freaking cool. He's not gonna do that because he's programmed to shoot it out of a weapon. The Keyblade isn't the source of, like, his total magic power. It's just kind of a weapon against the Heartless. Yeah, by Beast.
He stopped. Well, Well, that makes sense, but I'm saying that opens up the door to that anyone can use magic, not just people who have some sort of conduit for it.
Well,
So that means that like Aladdin could fire magic balls.
possibly.
Cause like
Anybody with a magic gauge can use magic. You gotta realize this.
But they all have MP gauges. What are you doing? Are you
I
trying to
don't
solve?
know.
Are you trying to solve?
Yeah, pretty much.
You just box yourself in.
I always do that. I don't know. I never
I do
learn. I never learn.
Yeah, I do that every time. Well, you actually did it right as you were leaving, opening up the one thing first. I always mess that up whenever I go through the game. Every time. Because that's pretty much like the one puzzle through the entire endeavor.
It's still just so.
The part's running out. I thought you were gonna stop at the save point. But where are you going?
Well, the whole point of that whole. I'm not wasting my time here. The point of that whole spiel in the waterworks. I'm not sure why I did that. But it's to open basically the front door. So now we can actually infiltrate the castle and hopefully try to talk some sense into our buddy.
It doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. Spoiler alert.
You'll find out soon. Gosh, night. Wooden sword. I like how. Did you get stats for the wooden sword? No?
I don't think so, actually. I think it's just like 0-0. And yet you still have attack. That's what's strange.
Yeah, I don't know why they cut that out. I don't know if it was a programming error. Because I'm pretty sure it's Final Mix exclusive. Or not, no, HD Remix exclusive.
No, I think actually in the original... So stupid. Original Final Mix.
You couldn't damage them?
Yeah.
That might be true as well, actually.
But that's it for this part. In the next part, we'll, again, begin infiltration to Hollow Bastion. Join us then next time.
Mystery.